Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Live from the Bench. It is your boy, Mr. GQ, and I'm joined today by no one other than Boulevard. It is really awesome that football is back finally. Yes. But you know, but what you know what's exciting though? And I didn't realize it, but we get football for 9 months now. We get 9 months of football. It's so awesome. Football doesn't stop till like April or May now. Oh, for sure, for sure. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. It's always got to be some drama, and we look forward to it. Yeah. It might even be the same person. Same person that was having drama last year is having drama this year. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this season if DeAndre Hopkins wants out of Tennessee. I would. Who am I throwing it to
Ended
me?
up in some bad situations somehow.
With badass quarterbacks. Shit quarterbacks. Well, speaking
Fish
of
in the bag
bad.
against you sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because, he went from a good situation in Tennessee to a bad situation in Arizona. And it's probably in an ugly situation in Tennessee. Mm. But speaking of the good, the bad, and the ugly, let's talk about week 1 and the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think you were a little bit more in depth with your good, the bad, and the ugly, but I'm going to give you mine, then you give me yours. For week 1, I got my good. The good for me was the Tua and Tyreek connection. Now, I'll speak on it. I'll admit, Tyreek's on my fantasy team. I did not pick my fantasy team in this league. I wasn't actually gonna participate in fantasy this year, but you kind of hit me up and told me that go check your team out. I was projected to lose by a good amount. I ended up winning by about 50 points in fantasy because of Tyreek. So
commitment to excellence, y'all.
Commitment to excellence. It was just pretty awesome. But that connection was just on fire. Tua had, what was that, 466 yards passing?
Yes, he did.
And Tyreek had 215 yards. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It's not what I thought. I thought Tyreek was going to be on it. I thought Tua was going to be at his back all day. They look good. Good. If I can do a great, the bad, and the ugly, that would have been a great. It's probably the best thing that happened all week.
It really was. They were making magic out there. Right back to where they were last season before Tua got his head popped twice.
So, what do you got for your goods? We're going to do it. Let's get the goods out of the way.
My good is no Tom Brady. Bill Belichick's definitely on the hot seat, as far as I can tell. But most importantly, football is back. That's my good.
That's
Real
your good?
Football is back. Yes, sir.
Belichick being on the hot seat is kind of weird to me because I can never see Robert Kraft just like doing away with him. I feel like he'll tell. I feel like Kraft will say, "Hey, Bill, I need you to step down as head coach and just come sit in the front office." I think that's what's going to happen. He's
that
already.
Won't help. That won't help.
It won't help.
No.
But I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like,
Belichick's not the evaluator of talent as a GM people want to make him out to be. They want to make
oh
him out
no,
to be this super ass genius, and he's never been that. He's
not.
never been great at drafting. You see the offenses he's put together; they were all
Mm-hmm.
shit and survived solely on the back of Brady McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. At one point, they had Aaron Hernandez, what's his name, Gronk. Oh, I forgot Gronk. But anyway, yeah, they had those two work in the middle of the field. Belichick didn't come up with that. Obviously, that wasn't Belichick's handiwork. I mean, they're trying to recreate it now, but it barely worked then because of the athletics of the players. You don't have the quarterback that can run that because he's not been a good evaluator.
Right.
So, yeah, I can't like finally his chickens come home to roost. All of that, like what's the whatever, all of that reputation he built, all of those props he acquired from winning championships on other people's backs will come home to roost. This
Mm.
should be the last season we do with Belichick. If he don't get fired, he's getting retired.
Well, that's another good, I guess.
That is a great.
All right, so let's get right into the bad. For me,
Mhm.
my bad of this week, I hate to say it because we are Eagles fans, but Brian Johnson's play calling was bad. I don't blame him. I feel like it's his opportunity to were you just flashing the ring?
I was not. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's flashing his championship ring. His Jesus Christ. Um, it's all right. I'm gonna get one this year.
Oh come on! I'm not that person. I'm a very humble person. I wouldn't do such a thing.
I'm taking it this year. I'm gonna get it
Maybe,
this year,
maybe.
and
Got
I'm
the
gonna get
team.
it
You got a work
customized.
wild team.
You're gonna have to. It's gonna be so crazy that you're gonna have to send me the link where you got yours, so I can get mine.
Nah.
But yeah, Brian Johnson's play calling. I don't blame him. I feel like this is his first chance at like really getting a chance of like feeling his offense around.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not gonna judge too much. I want to give him like 3-4 games before I feel as though whether or not he's got it. I hope he gets it together, not only because they're my team, because I feel like he's got some head coach potential at some point. So I feel like I want to see him get that adulation that he deserves. I want to see him get back to what got him the offensive coordinator position. So
Right.
that's my bad. How
They did
about
not look
you?
great. My bad is mostly player stats. I mean, you had Daniel Jones, like the Daniel Jones we know and remember from 2 seasons ago, came back. 15 to
Mm-hmm.
28, 104 yards and 2 picks. The only thing that salvaged any points for that man was 13 to 43 rushing, 13 carries to 43 yards. Other bad, again, stats. Cam Akers of the Rams. Is he good? Is he any good? I mean, like for years, I've been hearing that he's supposed to be good, but I haven't seen it yet. I really
Mm.
haven't seen the Rams' run game be any good in a long time. But yeah, 22 carries, 29 yards. What is that? Who does that?
What?
Yeah,
That's bad. That's
yeah,
disgusting.
yeah. It's almost as bad as my final bad. Joe Burrow, 14 to 31, 82 yards passing. That's a quarterback.
That
It should be
is disgusting.
impossible to be sub 100 yards passing.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I feel like you should just an automatic benching or something because you just are not taking it seriously. You come out there for 82 yards, we're not taking it serious.
Your first bad. What was it again?
My first bat was Daniel Jones,
Okay.
15 to 28, 104, 2 picks.
So my bad on what I want to just say about the Daniel Jones situation.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones performed exactly the way I expected him to. I am not on the Daniel Jones hype train. I feel like
Right,
the last season was a fluke.
right.
Them paying him was a mistake, and he's going to show everybody exactly who he is. Um, I am not a fan of Danny Dimes. I have no support in Danny Dimes, and he played exactly the way he was supposed to play.
Word.
I mean, they gave this guy all his props because he threw 15 touchdowns and not that many picks. But Just goes like that doesn't make you a good quarterback. That just means you played scared your entire year. I mean, give me somebody like Nick Foles
15
going.
touchdowns is a low number.
Yes,
There's
like
17 games and you threw 15 touchdowns.
like
This is not a standard of excellence.
it is
It's
not.
just not. It's not.
It's
It's not.
a standard of mediocrity.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's that. Cam
That's them
Akers.
Joe Namath numbers.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Now Cam Akers. Yeah. I. The thing about Cam Akers is just I don't hear anything about him throughout the year. So when it comes to discussing running backs, he's probably one of the last running backs you'll ever hear me talk about because I don't hear about him. So he's like, if I was to make a list of like all the starting running backs in the NFL, I would have to Google who the Rams starting running back is because I'd completely forget who Cam Akers was.
He is
And
very unremarkable as a running back in a person.
yes, and your third bad was Joe Burrow.
Indeed.
I'm not a Joe Burrow fan. I'm just not. Joe Burrow, I feel like Joe Burrow is overhyped, and whenever I see him perform well, I'm like, well, you're supposed to when you got such a great team around you, and you perform like that. I'm like,
he does have a solid offense around him.
yeah. So when I see him perform, I'm like, you're supposed to when you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Mixon, and then when he performed badly, I'm looking at you like, what are you doing? How do you mess up when you got a team like that? The Cleveland Browns them got it like that, and you know it's a joke to me. It's hilarious when there's a clip. I don't know if you saw it yet, where Myles Garrett is basically playing middle linebacker, and he's practicing his dribble moves right before the snap. He's just dribbling right before the snap, and they sacked Joe Burrow on that play, and I'm just like, their best pass rusher is playing the middle of the field and you still get sacked. He wasn't even taking the play serious. He's dribbling the ball in the middle of the field and y'all still can't stop the Browns pass rush. It's the Browns. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Browns. The Browns are 1-0. They started the season undefeated against one of the top teams in the league.
The Browns got something there. There's something there. They can win if they get on a good streak.
We'll see.
They got enough talent to win out.
It's still the Browns. It's still the Browns.
Yeah.
I still think
they won't win it. They won't do nothing in the playoffs because they're.
My thing is, I think the Browns are still the Browns, and Kevin Stefanski is going to get fired this year. I don't think they're going to do anything to surprise me because I don't think they know how.
Hey, if Watson plays like Watson used to play, can't really say that wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it's in there. The talent has to still be in there somewhere.
I would love to see Deshaun Watson
get a playbook in his hand instead of some.
Yeah.
Gucci.
Yeah, I would love to see Deshaun Watson go off. I would love it because it was so amazing. Because you know that stat that they're talking about, they're trying to say it's not a big deal, but it's really a big deal.
What's that?
14 black quarterbacks started this week.
Oh, that's beautiful.
14 black quarterbacks.
Applause sound. Yeah.
Yes. There was almost yes. And that number, because in another question, my thing was you got to step back and ask, because was Tua included in that list? I didn't see the list, but you got to ask, because if Tua wasn't included in that list, some people of the Samoan or Tongan or whatever the culture is, they do consider themselves to be black in some ways. So I don't know. I haven't seen the list, but I'm sure you're probably looking it up. So I'll.
I guess I am, aren't I? That's what I was doing.
I'm gonna talk a little bit before we get there. I feel as though like the league is in some sense. I think, and because I also saw a video, they were saying that a lot of quarterbacks, black quarterbacks back in the day, they used to say that black men weren't smart enough to play the position at quarterback. Warren Moon, the legend that he is, used to say that his teammates didn't like him. He didn't get so respect because he was black. They thought, you're a black quarterback, you're not supposed to be playing that position. Doug Williams said he faced that same type of issue. So now we see that black quarterbacks are really changing the game. It's black quarterbacks that have the reason that the quarterbacks, a lot of quarterbacks are becoming mobile quarterbacks is
There's a
because of
lot
these
of
black
one
quarterbacks.
drop in this list. All right. So, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, Desmond Ritter, Joshua Dobbs, Justin Fields, Jordan Love, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson.
So they didn't count Tua.
They did not. It's Tua
But
ain't
Tua,
black.
I mean, you never know. He may consider himself. Some Hawaiians consider themselves a black culture. You never know.
And Rachel Dolezal considered herself black, and we treated her like shit. She was an ally.
She was an ally, but yeah,
You
it's just
kicked her
like
ass out the door.
it's crazy because
We don't want your kind of help.
black quarterbacks changed the game.
Oh well, that's true.
Yeah, black quarterbacks changed
It
the
took
game. Like,
forever to get a coach that would actually put enough faith in a black quarterback to let that
mm-hmm.
happen.
And like you got guys like Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham,
That's my
like
favorite ever. Randall Cunningham.
Donovan McNabb. These guys were just quick and they were just different. They just brought such a different different dynamic to the quarterback position.
I'll never give McNabb the props he deserves because he's an alcoholic, inconsistent POS.
I mean, that's true. That's also true. He also likes to break kids' hands when he throws footballs at them.
Yeah. Hey, they should catch the ball when it's thrown at him. I don't know about that. If you can't catch it and break your hand, that ain't on the thrower. That's on you.
But yeah, so yeah, that's awesome.
As they say, if it hits you in the hands, you're supposed to catch it.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about. Let's go into the uglies. It's time for us to bump uglies.
Like your mother's, ladies and gentlemen.
My ugly for the week is the Giants' inability.
Oh, me too.
The Giants' inability to utilize their capabilities. Saquon Barkley, blah, nowhere. Darren Waller, nowhere. What was that guy's name? Hodgins. Mm-hmm. He went off last year, nowhere. These other mediocre receivers, nowhere.
I can't expect nothing out of the Giants receivers.
But yeah, but this is what I'm saying. They are who we thought they were. And Dallas wasn't going to let them off the hook. And the crazy thing is, I'm sitting right here talking about, this is why this is ugly. I am saying that Dallas's defense was phenomenal last night.
I got to say, at no point have you said the score of this game yet. Just to draw the point in there. It was 40-0, was it not?
Yes.
Okay.
40-0. That is ugly. It was ugly because it was Dallas. It was ugly because people are looking at Daniel Jones like, oh my gosh, Daniel Jones had a bad game. No, he didn't have a bad game. He played like Daniel Jones. That's what like Danny Dimes does. He is one of the worst quarterbacks in the game. I thought that the day he was drafted, I was like, what the hell were the Giants doing when they drafted Danny Jones?
Just most everybody felt that way when they drafted him.
When he was drafted, I was confuzzled. I remember because my wife's brother is a Giants fan, and we actually watched the draft at his house. And when Daniel Jones was drafted, I looked at him and he was like, what? That was crazy to me.
Boom.
He walked away. He walked out of the room. It's a waste of pick. Like, what the hell?
It is a waste of pick.
It was like so much other the people you could have drafted. So, yeah, I would have go in and got Jordan Love because he played like he belonged there. Who are your uglies?
Well, obviously the Giants because that was just ugly. Otherwise, we got T. Higgins. Remember T. Higgins? Did he play?
Who's that?
He was a wide receiver on the Bengals. He was fairly good last couple seasons. Did he play? Did he play in this game? Do you know?
He did play, but I don't know. I think he might have had a heart attack.
He was on the field?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I should check those stats. Type. 8 targets, no catches? The fuck?
Was he guarded by Eli Apple?
I mean, something was guarding him because I don't even know how that's humanly possible. How were you out there calling yourself a professional? And they gave you 8 chances and you ain't come away with dookie. You garbage this week. You are
Mm-hmm.
in the ugly column. You are ugly, and your mama's baby daddy is ugly.
Ugly.
All right. And also,
Performance
in
of the
my,
week.
yes, also, Mel Tucker's Meat Beat Manifesto. Did you hear about this?
I have, but please enlighten the rest of
Oh, Lord
our
have
bench
mercy.
riders.
So, Mel Tucker, coach of the Michigan State Spartans, is probably getting fired.
Mm.
Word on the streets is he
Term him.
sexually harassed some woman. I'm not going to put her name on here. Y'all can look it up. It's on Yahoo. Yeah, he sexually harassed an educator on rape and rape survival. She works with a lot of sports teams. The story kind of reads out where, to me, as a guy, she wanted more from him, but he was married and he was going to stay at home. He wasn't leaving his family. But can't really say that.
Um,
But yeah, let me get to the point. Let me wrap it up. All right. So the word is he was on the phone, swacking his hammer, beating his meat, smacking his monkey, choking the chicken, whatever you want to call it, while they were having a phone call. Indeed. A cock indeed. That's what that was. Or he was getting his willies or whatever. I don't know. There's more than 1,000 puns I could hit on this shit. But the point is, he was getting off on the phone with her, and now she trying to get him for sexual harassment. If she was on the phone with him the whole time, was well aware that he was doing what he was doing. This case might get thrown out. What do you think?
oh, I'm glad you asked me. So basically, they were having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
He was jerking off on the phone. Basically, he was jerking off on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you being in a relationship with your girlfriend and you're like talking to your girl when you splooge, while you're on the
No,
phone with your
never.
girlfriend.
Ew,
while you're,
no, never. Who would
because,
do that?
we did,
That's a
yeah.
sin. That's sinful behavior. Shame on
But
you,
yeah,
GQ.
he's
God is
having
watching.
he's having a time while he's on the phone talking to his mistress. He's a married man.
Santa's watching, GQ.
I bought the gifts anyway. But yeah, he's on the phone with his mistress, and all of a sudden, he sexually harassed. She sexually harassed her. Now, this is why I believe what you said is going to get thrown out, because basically, me and you fucking already. We already dealing with each other. We have a relationship. Like we've been doing this for a while. What I think happened, because this is what happens, the lady, this young lady, might have said, "I want more," and he said, "I'm not leaving my wife." So she said, "Oh, you're not? Well, I'm going to ruin your marriage, and then you'll have no choice."
Well, she
And
probably
she said,
succeeded at that.
and then she said, "He sexually harassed me," and now this is where we are. I really think we need to look into it. I'm going to sit right here, and I'm not saying that I advocate for people who commit these horrible acts on people. Like if it's a legitimate claim, I stand with her and I support her. But at the same time, you also have to understand that these people are dealing with each other, and you got to understand what happens in these situations when you have someone who's married. Like, what's that guy named Jimmy Yadukwe or whatever his name was from? I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. Nia Long's ex-husband, the
Emi
basketball
Aduke,
coach.
yeah. Emi Adoka.
Um, he had an affair and he got in trouble. And
Yep.
that's probably why he was suspended or fired or whatever. It's because he was having an affair and it looks bad on the team. I don't
Yeah.
think it has anything to do
So
with the sexual harassment.
it's subordinate shit, like stuff
Yeah,
like that. You can't
but
be in a position of power and have an involvement, entanglement with another
yeah,
thing.
but what I
Makes
think
sense.
it came down to, because if you're dealing with somebody, you're having this is like normal for you. You're on the phone and all of a sudden you're dealing with somebody and they just, oh my gosh, you're harassing me. We've slept together multiple times.
Laugh,
I'm
man.
harassing you together. Now there's a difference. If you said no on the phone, he still did it, but then that would have been a lot more than sexual harassment. That would have been, in my book, that could be considered assault, but that's not. This is where it gets so confusing because you got to understand where we draw the line at sexual harassment, sexual assault. Because I believe sexual harassment is when you're literally harassing somebody, and you're like, "Hey, let me have sex with you. Let me touch your butt." You know, that's harassment.
Let me touch your butt.
But
Don't
and
make me feel any
then there's
extra.
sexual assault. So I'm just like, I there's just so much out there. I can't wait for more details to come out about this, but it's just Jesus Christ. It's really hard because you want to be supportive. You want to you want to have stand with people who are victims. You want to stand with victims, of course, but it's really hard when a story sounds like this because you're having an affair. You guys are dealing with each other, and I feel like maybe she didn't want to get in trouble. So I don't know. It could be anything. I'm not going to sit here and crucify anybody. I'm not going to crucify her. I'm not going to crucify him. But it's ugly. It's ugly. Yeah.
We merely
It's
represent
ugly.
the court of public opinion on these matters. We don't know all the details. We're not entitled to most details.
I represent the court of the live from the bench, and I don't give two shits, to be honest with you. Whatever happens to him, happens to him. Whatever happens to her, happens to her. I just pray for the best. That's all I care about. It doesn't have shit to do with me. Because at the end of the day, whether he touched her or harassed her, he's going to get what coming to him. And if she's lying to protect her ass or she's trying to be vindictive, she's going to get what she's coming. Hey,
And both
listen,
things can be true.
yeah, anything can happen, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And it has nothing to do with me because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be on here putting out content Tuesdays and Thursdays alongside my big bro.
Indeed.
So, Mel Tucker, you might not have a job tomorrow, but guess what? I'll still be doing content. So that's ugly.
Hey guys, that's not the
And
kind
so
of
is your mama.
hands-on experience you want from your coach.
No.
They can't they gotta go in there and bleach that whole fucking room when he get fired. They gotta get down there and scrub because that man just at his desk, and that's gross.
But Michigan
And
State,
we
just
don't
so y'all
want to know
know,
that.
but just in case, just so y'all know, Michigan State, myself and Boulevard both have coaching experience. So
Why is everybody at Michigan State extra horny? It's like you had the doctor. I mean, what's his name, Jim Jordan or whatever. It was covering up essay going on at the school or with the gymnast guy, something or another. But that still traced back to Michigan State. Now you got this. Come
but
on,
I just
y'all.
want to make sure that
Keep
we
it
don't
in your
connect
pants. Calm
because
down.
one thing I just want to say before we move on. A lot of people are trying to make this comparison to the Nassar, what's his name, Dr. Nassar or whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
They're
guy.
trying to make that connection. This is a lot different. This is different. What Nassar did, he's
Much
a monster.
different.
He's a monster. What he
You
did, he
shouldn't
was
even be
a
breathing at this
monster.
point. You should be under the
Like,
ponytail, swinging
like
back
those
and
are young
forth.
people. He took advantage of people. This situation is different because, again, they were having an affair. That's why it's different. So,
If he
I'll let you
wasn't
guys.
married, this wouldn't even be a story.
Exactly. It wouldn't be.
No.
But be that as it may, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go and we're gonna talk about something that is very exciting. Wait, you got something?
Oh yeah. This part of the conversation is sponsored by my neighbors. What the hell is that smell? Yeah. Now we're on to the Nico Collins watch. It's a thing we're going to be doing every week because I did about 12 fantasy football drafts this year across 3 different platforms: Sleeper, ESPN, and Yahoo. And consistently noticed Nico Collins being the last offensive player drafted in just about every single one of those drafts. And I feel like everybody's sleeping on him. If he knows this, if we can get it out to him that everybody's sleeping on him, he gonna bust his ass. He's gonna shock all of y'all this season. So with that, I'm unleashing the Nico Collins watch, starting with this first week of the season.
Wait, before you go into that, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
say that I have Nico Collins on my fantasy team. I just want to say something funny about my fantasy team. I did not pick my fantasy team. I know I
Fair
said it
enough.
earlier in the show. I didn't pick my fantasy team. Boulevard was the one that said, "Hey, go check your fantasy team." We're in a fantasy team together that I'm going to win his championship. He's
He's
got
not.
his
He's
ring,
not.
but
He's just not.
he's got this ring and that he keeps showing off. I don't think anybody. I got a ring too, but I'm going to be the one holding the ring this year. I'm going to be the champ. I'm going to be. And when I win that championship, when I win this championship,
I'm
I'm
the
going to
champ.
come on the show. When I
All
win
about
this
that weed
championship,
now.
I'm going to come on the show. I'm going to look at Boulevard and I'm going to tell Boulevard these two words: acknowledge me. All right, go ahead with your Nico facts.
Okay. He was okay, but he got 11 targets. On those 11
11
targets, he
targets.
got 80 yards on 6 receptions, which isn't bad at all, except there were no touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But those are to come. Those will come. Nico Collins, you're going to have a good season this year. Us here at the bench, we salute you. Too bad you're not an Eagle. We'd actually root for your team to win. We just want you to
He'd be a damn good Eagle. He's big.
win. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come
I
to
like
Philly.
big receivers.
Come to Philly, Nico. There's always a
I'm a
spot
big,
for you.
yeah, I'm a fan of big receivers because they're just big receivers. And something I've realized, it's off topic about Eagles receivers. For a while the Eagles just used to have a lot of undersized receivers. Deshaun
Mm-hmm.
Jackson under 6 feet,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Ward under 6 feet. They had a lot of like Freddie Mitchell under 6 feet. It was a lot of that, and that was just very mediocre of them. And now I think
Eagles have
all
had
of
a
their
lot of
receivers,
mediocre receivers.
yeah, I think all the receivers on the roster are over 6 feet. It's the first time I've ever seen the Eagles with a large receiving core. But
It's a beautiful thing
Nico
to me.
Collins, I am. I'm a fan of Nico Collins. I like Nico. I feel like, and with his stats, I know a lot of people may consider that mediocre, but six
I
catches
don't.
for 80 yards,
That's a
that's not
solid game.
bad.
He's just
I feel,
missing the touchdowns. But those will come.
yeah. I think two more catches, he would have got 100.
Mm-hmm.
Um, listen, I think once CJ Stroud gets his feet under him, he's gonna dominate. So I like Nico Collins, and
This
yeah.
way, y'all slept on Nico Collins, and all of y'all going to see y'all slept on Nico Collins. This
Mm.
is your alarm clock. The Nico Collins watch.
Um, next on the docket,
Yes.
let's talk about our weekly fan. This is something we're gonna start doing as well. Our weekly fantasy all stars.
Ooh,
Uh, Boulevard, since he's
I
older,
forgot all about that.
yeah. Boulevard, since he's older, he's gonna do the list of the older players, and I'm going to do our rookie all star. Our all stars are the rookies. So, without further ado, because you were here first, you can go first.
I was here for a while before you got here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is my refugee camp family all star, all fantasy players of the week. Coming off a quarterback with a hell of a monster game. 27 point fantasy points according to ESPN, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. I am talking about Tua Tagovailoa. I was going to try to say Tua's full name, but I didn't want to fuck it up. We probably already getting canceled. Hey, move next up. Like he had a hell of a game. We actually talked about it earlier on the show. Remember Tua to Hill.
Hmm.
Hill's also on this list, but he's to come, obviously. From San Fran, 22 carries, 152 yards, 25.9 fantasy points. Christian, I'm not Ed McCaffrey.
Mm.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, he could be in the running for MVP. I mean, somebody's got to be the key in San Francisco this year. All right. Next at wide receiver. That's interesting. Is Tyreek Hill. He had a projected 20 points for this week on ESPN. He scored 44.5. 11 receptions on 15 targets for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Lord have mercy. That is a monster game. But not to be outdone, we're going back to San Francisco, apparently. With Brandon Ayuk having 10.6 projected points, he scored 32.9. 8 targets, 8 receptions. He must have been uncovered the entire game. 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just monster games across the board, or just across those 2 games. Next up, Hunter Henry, the tight end out of Boo, England. Had 5 receptions for 56 yards and a touchdown, getting himself 16.6 points. Again, it's tight end. You take what you can get. Now, for the defense, I'm not doing a kicker. If you want a kicker, go somewhere else, because no. Anyway, the Cowboys, 2 defensive touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, 7 sacks, a block kick, and 171 yards allowed. Damn. 35 points for the Dallas Cowboys. That is a huge number for defense. That's my list. My
That was an
refugee
interesting
camp
list.
all-stars, all fantasy players of the week.
Well, I'm going to do my Young Money Fantasy All-Stars list. Rookie edition. I'm going to start my fantasy list with my quarterback. The guy who is playing with the wrong number. He was AR-15 in college, now he's AR-5. Probably, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson. He was 5th. Well, tied for 4th. Tied for 4th with Justin Herbert in fantasy. 24 for 37, 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had 20.92 points, thanks to ESPN. He had 10 carries for 40 yards and 1 touchdown. I liked seeing Anthony Richardson do this. I like seeing him do it as a black quarterback. I'm just excited. He did good, and he's doing exactly what I thought he would do. He's doing exactly what I thought he'd do.
He can win in Indianapolis with that junky ass owner.
Yes.
He can win anywhere. He's a star in the league.
Let's go to running back. Now, I thought he was picked up by the wrong team. I thought they drafted this guy, but he's probably going to be our rookie of the year. Bijan Mustard's son of the Atlanta Falcons. He put up 20.3 points on ESPN. 10 carries for 56 yards, 6 receptions for 27 yards, and a touchdown. He was targeted 6 times. Targeted 6 times, caught 6 times. Great job, Bijan Robinson. Yes, he did.
Already looking like a future star.
Now, at receiver, I couldn't just go with one, because one guy was just a weapon and one guy was just out here just being somebody no one heard of. He's just like, he doesn't even have a picture on ESPN. That's crazy to me. So first, the leading rookie receiver for the year, and I'm going to say his name and nobody's going to know who he is. Puka Nacua.
What?
Puka Nacua. And for the Rams, he had 21.9 points in fantasy.
That name is whom?
Puka Nacua. He is Tongan and
is that
Samoan.
An island? Oh, okay. So yes, it's an island.
And his brother actually played for the 49ers. And a lot of other teams as well.
That name just sounds like a beautiful place.
Yes. He had, and listen to his stats, 10 catches. 10 catches, 110 yards, no touchdown, but he was targeted 15 times.
Damn. That's the number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Mm.
There were only 2 receivers targeted this much this week, and the other one was Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
Uh my second person, because I could not go and not give this guy credit. Zay Flowers, the Baltimore Ravens receiver, 17.7 points on ESPN. He had 2 carries and 11 yards. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong person. My apologies. 2 carries for 9 yards. But he had 9 catches, 78 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 10 targets. Zay Flowers was my other guy. Now, I like seeing like Zay Flowers. If you watched him play, he was just a weapon. He just looked reliable out there, and it was just good to see. Now, at tight end, Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta. I had him on my team. I didn't start him. I wish I did.
No, it was his first game as a pro, as a tight end. I don't know how much
Yeah,
down he's got. Got to figure it out.
he put up 8.9 points on fantasy. However, on 5 targets, he had 5 catches for 39 yards.
That's 8 a
That's not a
carry.
lot,
Yeah.
but he was a weapon. He was reliable.
Yeah. Clearly.
That's what I get. Reliability at the tight end position, and that's what you want from a tight end.
That's what, especially from a rookie tight end.
Mm-hmm. Now, because you can't do a rookie defense, there's no such thing. You can't just loop a whole defense in a rookie. I'm just going to showcase one defensive player, one rookie
Okay.
defensive player. And that's Jalen Carter. His
Yeah.
first snap, he got right through the line. The guy
Crazy.
came out here. The Eagles defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, came out there and showed exactly why he was drafted, why he was supposed to be the number 1 pick. Immediately got through the line, made pressure. The guy just played like he belonged in the NFL. He played like he's been in the NFL for a while. He's the reason why the Eagles. He's one of the reasons why the Eagles' defensive line will continue to be one of the best. They didn't get many sacks this week, but that's okay. I think they're gonna come
They
into their
won't hit
own, Jalen Carter.
70.
No,
People
listen,
really expected him 70 again. 70 is a high number.
I don't think anybody's gonna hit 76. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, those are our weekly fantasy all stars. Yeah, what we got next up on the docket?
Well, next we got tonight's game. First Monday
Tonight's
night of the
game.
season. Yeah.
There's a game tonight.
Yeah.
We're
It's
gonna
Monday
see.
night.
So we're gonna see the
Monday
White
night
Cam Newton
football.
versus.
Ah,
We go,
ah, 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 ah. That was funny. That was damn funny.
we're gonna see the White Cam Newton take on Prince Ayahuasca, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. Discount double check.
You know, it's funny because I heard something the other day. It was hilarious. They said that Aaron Rodgers was Jordan Love's dad, and Jordan Love is the Bears' father. That makes Aaron Rodgers the Bears' granddaddy
Damn.
because they just own the Bears. That was
That
just
makes
funny.
sense.
Something I heard earlier.
I mean, Mac
The
Jones is Tom
Jets
Brady's son.
and
Yeah,
Mac
that makes
Jones is
sense.
no one's daddy.
No, he's
Um,
too unreliable.
so for this Monday night game, do you have any expectations? Any expectations? Any predictions?
I project the Bills win. I
Yeah, I don't see any
predict Aaron
argument there.
Rodgers throws 2 interceptions. I believe we stop all this. This hype train ends tonight for this Jets team.
I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think the Bills do much this season, but I think they get the win here tonight. I just do. I
I don't
just
see
do.
the Jets doing much this season.
It's yeah. I'm not basing it on anything but gut. If I was out there listening on who to place a bet on, I would not take this one. Other than just
Yeah,
enjoying the game, I have nothing invested in it. My
I don't think I'm
predictions
gonna be.
prediction: the Bills can't run the ball outside of Josh Allen running the ball. The Jets run the ball all over the Bills defense. Bills, yeah, it's it's
Mm,
it's a game. I'm happy. I don't know what it's really to expect from either team. I don't really buy into too much hype from either team. No,
okay.
but frankly, if you're on Hard Knocks, I definitely don't expect much from you that season. Bills versus Jets. What do you think?
Bills versus Jets. I see Josh Rosen. I mean Josh Allen, coming in and running all over the Jets. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is not. He's a shell of his former self, and he's going to come out there and just not do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hurt. I don't see Jets coming out there and performing. I have no faith in Hackett anymore
No.
because I feel like as the head coach, you're still going to make the same. Like you exposed yourself because now we know exactly who you are. Mentally, you're a dipshit. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's going to come out there and just do the same thing he did in Denver and not be reliable, horrible play calling and decision making and time management on offense. So I feel like that, and that's something that's always been crazy to me. I am not hiring someone who just got fired as a head coach
Yeah,
to
no.
come coordinate any of my offense or defense. I'm not doing that. I
Right,
don't
they
even think you should.
just failed. Do you really want their stink
Yeah,
rubbing off on your team?
yeah, I'm not doing that. Let you sit down for a little bit, like Doug Peterson did. Sat back, reflected for a little while before he took another job.
Mm,
McCarthy did the same thing. Still wouldn't have hired him though. But
no.
be that as it may, this is what we're looking at. I got the Bills mollywhopping the Jets.
Mm,
Mollywhopping, just haymaker, mingle, mink, 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 beating up all over the Jets.
I got 17-14. This
Do
ain't
you
gonna
have
be
any
much of.
standouts for this game?
No. Wait, let me. Oh, Sauce Gardner versus Diggs.
Okay. Sauce Gardner versus Diggs. I like it. And I think on the other side, I know you're going to hate this. You're going to hate it. But I got Gabe Lewis, his name, Gabe Lewis, going over 100 yards.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Davis. Yeah.
Gabe
What about
Davis.
what about Delvin Cook, Brees Hall? What you expecting
Oh, I
out the
think
Jets running game?
I think Dalvin Cook is going to be Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook will put up 70 yards rushing on the ground. And he's going to be the guy that keeps them in the game,
Yeah.
but will keep them able to be in the game. But at the end of the day, I feel like Rodgers throws too many, like they turn the ball over too much to stay in the game. I think Dalvin Cook gives them opportunities, but I feel like turnovers are going to keep them out of the game.
So
That
you had
is
the
what I.
Bills winning. I had the Bills winning. Now the Jets ain't got no choice but to win. But they
They better.
suck. The world
Or
is
they making me
watching.
look good.
10 million people will be watching tonight.
You think there's
Are
going to be
you
that many
ready
people that
for
tune
some
in?
football?
Are you ready for some football?
Football!
On Monday Night Party!
Football!
Fucking football.
Indeed. Fucking love it. Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have for today.
Was this a
If you
good
like what you
episode?
see, like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the flippity flip. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm GQ with Boulevard, and we are live at the bench.
Oh wait, one
So
other
hit it.
thing. We should probably let them know before you turn
What
it off
happened?
that we're looking
What
for
happened?
people to come in and have conversations with us and discuss more in-depth conversation pieces, such as like the
Yes.
wage gap.
Yes, we are looking to get more opinion. We're looking to get some more people to come in,
Women's
discuss certain things,
Sports
give their own
1209.
perspective. We want to talk more about it. I would love to get a woman here. We've been discussing the wage gap in sports, I want to get someone on here that can probably lend a different perspective because,
Yeah.
of course, we are not women. We identify as males. So we would love to get the perspective of a woman, tell us what they think of the gap. I mean, we have our personal feelings about it. I have my personal beliefs, but I would love to get some other people on the show to discuss theirs. I mean, even though we have our biased opinion, we are not against hearing anybody else. So
Yes, come in and educate us.
come, say your piece and put it out there. Until next time, hit the bench, riders.
Jeez.